Good morning, everybody. My name is Kristen Kolenz, and I'm coming to you live from the Media Vision Studios right here on the Case Western Reserve campus. This is ITS Connect, and today we're discussing using Lyndacom. So, as you know, we take user feedback on all of these sessions, and we like to demonstrate things that you want to learn about. So I hope you're all here today to learn about this wonderful free resource that we have here on campus. And as I'm going along, I hope you're thinking of questions and things you'd like to see from us in the future. So as I am going along, I'm going to be taking us into the Lyndacom environment so you can see what it actually looks like. If you have questions, please go ahead and just type them into the chat pod that you see in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. If I don't see the question come up right away, please forgive me. It does usually take me a little while to see them because I'm in the middle of something, and we don't have audio coming in from you folks on the other side of the Connect meeting room. So I will get to your question as soon as I can, or you're welcome to leave it to the end when I take general questions. Okay, so let's get started using Lyndacom. So what we're going to go through today is what is Lyndacom, how to get there, how to fill out a profile, find what you need, add a course to your playlist or queue, bookmark courses and time codes, and then getting your certificate of completion. So first of all, what is Lyndacom? Lynda is an online collection of videos that train on software, technical skills, and business skills. From the Lynda website, it describes itself as an in-depth, essential training on specific software packages, first looks at up-and-coming technology trends, and inspirational documentaries following creative professionals working in a variety of disciplines. So, just so you guys know, you all have access to this right now. You don't have to request access. You don't have to sign up for anything. You have access to this right now, whether you know it or not. It is free for us to use as faculty, staff, and students here at Case Western Reserve. We have 24/7, 365 access to this because it is an online service. You could use it while you're on campus at your work computer, or if you're off campus on your work computer or on your own computer. You could be on any computer in the world. It doesn't matter, as long as you go through the crew portal to Lyndacom. So we have a link specifically for using Lyndacom and getting it for free. Lynda is typically a service that is marketed to the world, and it's a value of approximately $250 to $300 per 12 months. So as you can imagine, this is something that we've secured for everybody to save you all a valuable amount of money. So once you get to the link to Lyndacom from the crew help.case.edu website, you might be asked to sign in through the single sign-on page, which you all see when you go into webmail or any of the Google apps, and then you'll be taken to the Google landing page. So let me show you what that looks like. So this is just a screenshot of help.case.edu. We'll be going out there in a second. We recently made some really small changes to the left-hand side of help.case, so I wanted to point out to you where the Lyndacom link is. So to instate the importance of going through help.case.edu. If you go directly, open up an internet browser and type in Lyndacom and go there directly, you're not getting it for free. You're only going to get a certain amount of videos that you get to watch, and then you're going to be asked to pay for it. Okay, so don't go directly to Lyndacom. You need to go to help.case.edu and click on the Lyndacom link in order to get the complete service for free. So where you see the red arrow pointing, that's where you need to go. So now I'm going to take you out of my PowerPoint and into the live Lyndacom area. Okay, so first I'm going to take you to help.case.edu. You all should be seeing that right now. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. Oh, look at all this wonderful stuff over here on the left to get 24/7 assistance from ITS. Oh, and right underneath that, helpful resources, Lyndacom. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Lyndacom. And it is taking me to the crew single sign-on site, and you've seen this before, I'm sure. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my network ID and password like I always do. And when I log in, you're going to see a couple things change in the URL, it's just redirecting us through our campus partnership link. And now I'm on Lynda.com, and this is the free version for all of CASE. So when you get here, there's a couple places you can go from here. The first thing I would do, if you were a very new user who's never used Lynda.com before, is I would fill out a profile. So if you go to the upper right-hand corner of the Lynda.com window and hover over My Account, you're going to see My Profile, Site Preferences, and News and Email options. So I'm just going to go over My Profile with you really quickly. When you click on that, you just have the opportunity to enter your name and your last name, your address, phone, and email. So it knows who you are when you log in, and it says, "Welcome, Kristen," or whoever. And this way, if you request any materials, you can get them to your email address. Site preferences, really quickly, it's just how do you want to view the videos through Flash or QuickTime. And then with news and email options, that's all about, do you want to receive updates through the email from Lynda.com? Okay. All right. So back to the Lynda.com homepage. Let's talk a little bit about finding what you need from Lynda.com. So Lynda offers an amazing amount of software training and technical skill and business training. So I can imagine a lot of you might be coming to Lynda.com for information about Microsoft Office or the Adobe Creative Suite of products, all of which you have available to you for free through Software Center, which is accessible at softwarecenter.case.edu. If you've never been there before, check it out while you're on campus. You could download software for work use for free to your computer. So what I have here is the ability to search the entire Lynda.com site in a couple of different ways. The easiest way probably is just to go to the search box and type in a phrase or the name of software. So let's say I've just downloaded the new Adobe CS6 software for web and design, and that includes Photoshop, and I want to learn about Photoshop. So I'm just going to type in Photoshop, and I'm not even going to type in CS6 or anything. And when I type that in, Lynda has a couple suggestions for me for things I might want to go to directly, but I could just click on search and go to a general search result page for anything that has Photoshop in the title or in the description. So as I'm going down the page, I'm going to see ways to filter the course list. It says, do you want to filter this based on subject? So are you looking for Photoshop courses on design? How about web and interactive or photography or video? I could narrow it down. I put in the search term of Photoshop, but it brought up a whole bunch of videos. Do I just want to see videos that are on Photoshop, or also videos about Illustrator, InDesign, and After Effects that happen to mention Photoshop? Then we see by software company, author, which probably isn't of too much use to you, and then finally release year. So I can use these filters to narrow down my search results from Lynda.com. What you see then below that are all the general search results that are pulled up, just like in a Google search. So the first thing I see is Photoshop for web design. There's also titles like Photoshop for designers, type effects, Photoshop, Lightroom 4 power shortcuts, and so on and so forth. What you'll see next to that is the level of difficulty. So this is an intermediate difficulty. It's got the 2 bars out of 3. 1 bar is easy, 2 bars is intermediate, 3 bars is hardcore or more difficult. Then we see the duration of the class. This first class is 4 hours and 53 minutes, and then the release date. And this was released, 2 days ago, so it's really brand new information. Going back to the left-hand side of the course description, if I hover over the course title, the URL, I get a very brief description to pop up on my screen to tell me what this course is about. I see just some very quick snippets of that underneath, see the author name. Now this little check mark, the little green check mark you see here, that means I've added this to my queue of videos to watch. The drop down to the right of that, if I click on that, it has remove from queue and go to queue. If I do the same thing on a course that I haven't added to my playlist, it has add to queue and add to top of queue, which is nice because you could say this is something I really want to watch. I'm going to add this to the top of my list. So if any of you use Netflix out there, this is a quick way to do something very similar, except it's with Lynda and not with popular movies. So if I want to add something to my list, I just click the plus button, and I can click on it again to remove it from my list. So here I have Photoshop for web design, and I have added that to my playlist already. That means it's on the list of things that I want to watch at some point. So this is a really easy way for you to build up a curriculum for yourself. So I can also just click on the URL of the course name and see the complete description. So what am I going to see in the complete description? I'm going to see a list of topics under the paragraph that describes the class. I'll see the author, the subject, the level, the software duration, and when it was released. Off to the right, I'm going to see a complete table of contents. Now, Lynda divides all its videos into chapters, basically. So what we see here is an introduction with 2 videos underneath it, a group of core concepts with a bunch of videos underneath that, and it shows you how long each video is. So you have a couple options here. You can start from the very beginning and watch the entire course on Photoshop for web developers in this instance. Or I can go directly to a video that covers the topic that I want to learn about. So let's say I need to work with color in Photoshop and I want to learn about how to create custom swatches. I can click right on that video and it opens up. So you should see this opening on my screen now. And then the video begins. Okay, so it's that simple. And you can't hear it playing on audio because I have it on mute, but you will hear audio. So one of the nice things about Lynda is, especially when you use it on campus, we have that super fast gigabit connection to the world. Well, with videos, a lot of times those take some buffering if you're at home on a DSL connection. If you have time to do this on the Case campus, then you're going to get these videos really, really fast. So the author is going to show you in these videos exactly what to do in the software. Ideally, you could have the software on your computer at the same time. You could be doing exactly what the instructor is doing on your own, on your computer at the same time. So hopefully you will find this very helpful if you're in a situation where you have to learn about specific software very, very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and pause that and click off right there. So some other things that you'll see on these pages that describe the courses, you're going to see a tab at the top for exercise files. So this is one of the things we have access to as premium members of Lyndacom. You can download these exercise files that are used by the instructor in the course. So for Photoshop, that means you might get actual photos and PSD files. Those are Photoshop files. You might get a list of directions. You might get samples of work, and samples of different techniques. It's really valuable, and these all download as zip files, which then on either Windows or Mac computers can be extracted fairly easily and actually used on your computer. There's also tabs for the author, so you can find out more about the person who's presenting to you. Preferences for the video, so do you want to watch in Flash, QuickTime, or QuickTime Custom? You could also clear your cache sort of viewed items so that it doesn't show what you have viewed and not viewed. You could just kind of start from the beginning if that's your preference. And then the very end, there's FAQs. So if there's any frequently asked questions about the Photoshop for Web Design course, you'll see them here. In this case, there aren't any, but you have the opportunity to ask a question. Okay, so I want to move on to bookmarks. So I've added this class to my queue. I also have the option of bookmarking this class, or bookmarking an actual video in the class, or bookmarking a time code in a video that is a part of this class. I could also provide feedback, just so you know, if I want to send any comments to the author or Lyndacom as a service about the video. So let's talk about the queue really quick before I move on to bookmarks. If I want to see what's in my queue, I just go up to my account, or I'm sorry, not my account, but I can go to Lyndacom. And it'll show my courses right at the top. It'll show your queue and your course history. So here's the courses I've looked at lately. Photoshop for web design, Photoshop for photographers, things like that. And in my queue, I've already added 2 things. I have Photoshop for web design and Photoshop for photographers, portrait retouching. So these are 2 things that I want to watch at some point, and I can go to these courses directly from my queue. I also have the course history and bookmarks links and certificates of completion. So if I have any bookmarks, I click on the bookmarks link and it shows maybe I found something, just like with a book, how you bookmark it, or online, you find a website you like, you bookmark it. It's the same thing with Lynda.com, except you had the option of bookmarking entire videos or just time codes within videos. So what I've done in this example is I bookmarked the 14-second time code in a video called Using Selections and Cloning to Remove Distractions from the course called Photoshop for Photographers Portrait Retouching. So if I click on it, it's going to take me right to that point in the video where I was watching. Or not. I can click on the bookmark. It takes me to the beginning of the video, and then I can click on the bookmark and it'll take me right there. Okay? And if I want to bookmark something new while I'm watching the movie, I have in the lower right-hand corner the ability to bookmark the movie or bookmark the time code. So that is how you create a bookmark while you're watching a video. Okay? So when it comes to watching these videos, you can watch from the beginning. So let me go to my web design course. I can click on the introduction and just start from there and start watching the entire thing. There are controls at the bottom that say autoplay, chapter, there's on, and then there's off. And if you can see where my mouse is, I just turned it off. So when it's in the on position, that means it's just gonna keep playing through all the videos, on and on and on until you tell it to stop. If I change it to off, it's gonna stop at the end of every video and allow you to move on manually. So it's up to you and your preferences about how you do that. But with Lynda.com, this is all integrated into the web. You don't have to download anything necessarily. You just need to have either Flash or QuickTime on your computer. And no matter what platform you're using, Windows or Mac, you're going to have one of those things. So you'll be able to watch the videos. Okay? With certificates of completion, I just want to mention you get one of those when you've watched the entire course from beginning to end. So when Lynda.com, the service, senses that you have gone through all the videos in a course, you have the option of requesting a certificate of completion, which you can get online, and you would click the certificates of completion link from your home page. I don't have any yet, but if I did, they would be here. Okay, so then it's just something that you can kind of add to your portfolio of things you've learned in your time here at Crew. All right. Some of the other interesting videos that you might not know Lynda has is they do have documentaries on creative professionals that work in various areas of industry and design, so you could watch those. They have a series called Deek's Techniques, where this person, Deek, goes over some things that you might not have known about software that you use, like in Photoshop and Office. Just interesting, innovative ways to use the programs. Under latest releases, you're going to see a whole bunch of different videos like Photoshop for Designers, type effects, just anything new that they add, and they add new stuff all the time. In fact, just the other day, they added information on iBooks, which is something that some of us have started using on campus. So it's really easy to search for what you want to learn about, and if it's not there, you could always send an email and say, hey, Lynda.com, please start adding this. I also want to show you real quick, you can browse by subject on Lynda.com. So here we have 3D and animation, audio, business, design, developer, home computing, photography, video, web and interactive, and finally documentaries. And under documentaries, you'll find a lot of cool stuff. Like people who are graphic artists, and they do documentaries on them and how they've gotten to where they are and what they do with all their education and knowledge. There's also, under subject, it's really cool sometimes that you don't know what is involved with, say, video, what kind of technology is involved in just plain the concept of video. So if you click on one of these things, you'll find out that there's a whole host of ways of doing video and editing video that you might not have known about. So if this is just something that you're interested in as a hobby, go to Lynda.com and just see what you can find on your intended hobby, if it has to do with video, photography, anything. There's also business skills in the subject area. If you go to business, there's 305 videos on this. And this is an excellent option for our graduating seniors and our graduate and professional students. So under here we have managing your career. Gosh knows everybody could use a little bit of information on that. So up and running with Lotus Notes, if you use that. Twitter Essential Training even. Who knew that you'd find that on Lynda? So all this information is available. You can get it with closed captioning if you need it. Like I said, there's just a bunch of ways to search for information and get information. So explore a little bit and see what you can find. There's also a way to search by just going through software. It's available alphabetically, so I could have also looked for Photoshop by clicking on P and then finding Photoshop, Photoshop Elements, Photoshop Express, and so on and so forth on this list. Okay? All right. So, any questions? I don't see any typing going on. So I want to let you know where you can get more information on Lyndacom. If you go to help.case.edu, there is, of course, the Lyndacom link on the left side of the page that will take you directly through to Lyndacom for free, so you could use all the training videos. If you also just want general information on Lyndacom, you can scroll down the page a little bit more under training. There is a link that says Lyndacom information. You could go there. It also has a link to get to Lyndacom. So a bunch of ways that you can learn about Lynda. You could also email help@case.edu if you have any questions. Shondell wants to know, is this only for use on Case Campus? No, Shondell, as long as you're using the link from help.case.edu and clicking on Lynda.com, you can be anywhere in the world and use this service. You just need to be able to sign in with your network ID and password, which you could do from anywhere in the world, and you'll be able to get to Lynda.com. Okay, so you could use it here, you could use it at home. I do suggest, though, that wherever you use it, you have a high-speed connection. So whether that's wireless or plugged in with an Ethernet cord, doesn't matter. It's just better to have a high-speed connection because these videos are going to take a lot of memory on your computer. It's a lot of information for a computer to process over the internet, and it might take it a while on a home DSL connection. So completely up to you where you watch this. But if you have time during your lunch hour, during breaks, or if this is part of your career development, this is something that your supervisors have asked you to engage in, please go ahead and use our incredibly fast Ethernet connection available here on campus to watch those videos. You can download this presentation if you're interested that I just gave to you. Let me bring up my file pod. All right, there you go. So I just brought the file share pod over on top of the Lynda.com presentation. If you want to download this presentation, you can go ahead and do that on your own. I also have a survey, if you don't mind filling out. I'm going to take you all out to that now. Your feedback is just absolutely invaluable to us. So if you could please fill out this survey, let us know what you think about the ITS Connect program and what you've just seen. I'd really appreciate it. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. If you have questions about Lynda.com or any service that is technology related that we offer here on campus, please go to help.case.edu. You can search for answers there. You can chat live with a technician. You can fill out a web form to request help on a problem. And of course, you can always contact us at help@case.edu by emailing us with your crew email address, or you can call us directly at 216-368-HELP. That's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all around the year. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope to see you next month when we're going to have a new topic, so check the Case Daily for announcements on that. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.